guys, I'm Quinn with Hollywood First Look Features. We're here tonight on the black carpet talking to the writers and the directors of this year's AT&T Hello Lab Mentorship Program. Let's take a first look.
The AT&T Mentorship Program was established in 2017, and this year's program participants include 5 emerging screenwriters and 5 directors. Those who were selected represent a range of diverse identities, including LGBTQ+, women, communities of color, and more.
So Postmarked is about a young kid who runs away from home to find his sister, who happens to be trans, and she's been ostracized from the community. So it's a story about redemption and peace. It's a story about him finding and saying goodbye. And it's a sad story because when he does find her, we find out, we don't know if she's dead or alive. And so for me, like telling the story where it had to deal with the black trans community, especially black trans women, I really wanted to treat this story as carefully as possible because being that I'm not a black trans woman, who am I to tell the story and to kind of herald that voice? And so having our lead actress, Quinn, come on board as our consultant and really kind of give us the leverage we needed to really tell that story and to fulfill that purpose within the narrative has been really important. So
I saw the preview or the trailer for this film, and it looks crazy. When you read the script and you kind of like heard about this, what were your first thoughts?
I thought I've never seen anything like this, read anything like this, but what really drew me to it was that it's such a universal message. I think beyond what just the synopsis of the film is, I think it really does follow someone who wants to be validated and loved and seen, and I think everybody in the world, from young to old, can relate to that. So I really do feel like it's something everyone can relate to.
We ended up having to create the website kind of from scratch for the film. So I spent a lot of time collecting photos of just my friends crying, which was a very weird thing for me. I ended up with a folder of 50 different women crying, and I'm scrolling through it and I'm like selecting the right ones, and that felt so weird and voyeuristic. But yeah, it was just kind of a lot of stuff like that where we were just towing this weird line of getting into some deep darkness there for sure.
I think it was more about capturing the zeitgeist, what's going on right now and what position we find ourselves in as a country. And I wrote it mostly for the trans community as a whole because I wanted to valorize these people that I read about in newspapers all the time that unfortunately meet a lot of adversity and a lot of unfortunate ends often in their effort to just be themselves. And I thought none of these stories that I read included like information about who they were or their humanity, and so I wanted to write something valorizing, something that I could speak as an ally to these people and hopefully write a story that ended more like a fairy tale or something more positive and that spoke about their character rather than just a headline,
So you get they called back and said, okay, no, you're one of the 5 writers we've chosen. You're one of the 5 films we're going to make this year. And it's just like, oh wow, everything's changed now. Everything's changed, and it's so validating, really.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
I mean, not just the basic success of making a film, because that's hard enough as it is, but to make a film from this point of view, from a minority point of view, from a double minority point of view, and the actors are black and brown people, and the crew, don't see these people, but a lot of we had a lot of women on the set, which is sadly still the exception, but had a lot of women in our crew. We had a lot of minorities. It's gratifying.
One of 5 directors. I mean, how was getting that news for you?
Getting that news was actually crazy. I was actually on the way to direct another thing for AT&T, which was a music video by Chica. It was the High Rises video, and I was actually pulling up to our production house, and I got an email saying, hey, you finna be in this program. We finna give you all these things to make this film. And I was like, I was in Alabama. I was in the boonies. I barely had service. I just remember like screaming into the woods, and my sister was like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, yo, like, you don't understand, like, my life just changed a little bit. And so, I'll never forget that moment, and it was just super special because I was already like on a project, and then to like, be coming into like, for me, a bigger project, that was super dope. So like the progression and all that was fire.
About
a couple. They happen to be partners, a lesbian couple, but it's not about them being a lesbian couple, but about a couple that decided to raise a kid, and one decided to go on their own, and she's going back home and live with her parents. And how is that when you're in a situation where you're raising a child by yourself? Pretty much what everybody can relate to in some way, right? That's it.
I mean, that's awesome.
And the milk spills. It's a messy cleanup.
Yeah.
First read the script, I was sort of like wary about it because I just didn't understand it at first. But then I read the audition scene, and it said I was a tennis player, and I am a tennis player, so that really already correlated with me. But the whole finding yourself aspect of it is really, you know, because I haven't even found myself yet. I mean, I'm only 12, so but it's really, and the film is more than just, you know, a cutesy little story about three girls. It's really a deeper story about three girls coming into this world wanting to make a change.
And it's more, I mean, you know, this is through this mentorship program, which, you know, it's these people that, you know, have been trying, and, you know, who were chosen out of thousands of people to submit this film. I mean, going into it knowing that this is what it was, I mean, that's got to feel like very special, right?
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, this whole mentorship program is amazing. For them to give chances to people who may not get this chance every day is so great, who want to tell these really inspiring stories.
Thanks so much for watching, guys. Be sure to check out the 5 films from this year's AT&T Mentorship Program. I'm Quinn Marie, and you've been watching Hollywood First Look Features.